The big meeting room was filled with developers. At the front was a giant screen with a title, Agile Method User Guide. People murmured. What was the name of the consulting group? Was it Daesan? Have you heard of this company? It's the one taking care of the channel system. They got the contract because of Daeyoung. Nuri Finances should have hired a better company. Most of them were unhappy about this meeting. I heard a newbie will lead this presentation. How can anyone trust a new grad? This project will fail, and it will cost more to fix it. I heard the manager of the IT team is a strange man. It's hard enough for us to make the codes, but for us to make test codes too. That's not fair. Everyone was complaining. ST's Nam Kyung-sang was especially vocal about his unhappiness. He doesn't even know anything about Agile, and now he will provide a consultation. This is ridiculous. I wouldn't be surprised if that last bug was also planted by Daesan. No way. Think about it. It was odd he found the code errors on the server easily. You can't be that quick unless you wrote the codes yourself. And what about the thing he mentioned about our library? It makes little sense unless he made it happen. Suddenly, Kwon Hyunjian shushed Nam Kyung-sang. The door opened, Yoon Gi-won and Woosung walked in. The room quieted down, and Woosung grabbed the microphone. Oh, hello. I am Woosung Kang from Daesan System, and I will lead this consulting presentation. The room was quieter, but most developers weren't paying attention. Nam Kyung-sang sniggered at this show of disrespect. I knew it. Woosung calmly continued. You are all probably wondering about two things. First, what can a newbie Woosung Kang do? Woosung paused, fixing their attention towards him. Second, how effective would my idea be? I will answer the first question. The next PPT slide appeared, and it was filled with Woosung's recent accomplishments. He fixed the account system balance problem, created a new function called speed trading, and completed GUI test tool. And this is the test tool I created in just a month of working at Daesan. For short, it's called GTT. I will show you how it works. As the program started, the room became silent. Both Yoon Gi-won and Park Jun-woo were surprised. One can see the shock in the faces of other developers too. All of this in 1 month. Kwon Hyunjian swallowed and watched the program. This is how the test works. I have completed it, and from now on, we will test the HTS screen using this tool. Let me now answer your second question. The next slide appeared. Daesan System -0.0. Positive 0.5. ST Data System -0.4. Positive 0.0. M3 Soft -0.3. Positive 0.1. Daeyoung System -0.0. Positive 0.2. These results came from the point system so far. I don't want to brag, but I might be the reason why Daesan did so well. It was a joke, but the audience was still in shock as their gazes remained fixed at Woosung. Now, I will begin the actual presentation. The developers' eyes sharpened as they scuffle around trying to look for a pen and paper to take notes. After the presentation, it was time for Q&A. Many developers raised their hands. So is it really true that we need to create the test codes? I realize it might not be possible if you have a lot of other projects to do, but at the very least you need to do them for the main function. Another developer raised his hand. Could you explain further regarding your plan for using the prototype and develop it as you go rather than wait to finish the final product? As you saw during my presentation, we should release a prototype that can do the main function first. It would take too long to release it if we wait to complete the final GTT. So you are suggesting we create the POC, proof of concept, ASAP and release it first, then continue to work on it using test codes. Yes, that's exactly right. As he answered more questions, the audience appeared to accept Woosung's idea. I think it's a solid plan. The biggest problem when programming is the relationship between the developer and the user. His concept will improve that. The customers will get the product quicker, and we will continue to communicate with them and apply their suggestions to further develop the program. Hey, did you take good notes? No worries. He said he will send us the copy of his PPT. Oh. Nam Kyung-sang didn't like how this was going. He was just an intern, but now. Before Woosung came, he had the answers to everything here. He was the one making all the good suggestions, and they always accepted his motions. However, ever since their rival company hired Woosung, Nam Kyung-sang's reputation left. As he arrived, they now knew him as a person who gives the wrong answers. This was his chance to embarrass Woosung. He was well prepared. May I ask you a question? When Nam Kyung-sang raised his hand, Woosung's eyes sharpened. He knew what Nam Kyung-sang meant to do. Something filled Nam Kyung-sang's eyes with obvious hate. Yes. Ask away. Agile's, especially TDD's, biggest advantage is that it allows us to spend more time on coding rather than writing reports, but if we still need to write the same number of output and development reports for Nuri Finances, wouldn't the application of Agile method mean more work for us? Some developers nodded in agreement. Woosung sighed and answered. I already explained this at the beginning of the presentation. Nuri Finances already agreed to decrease the amount of reports we need to write. Many nodded again to Woosung's clear explanation. This was not the reaction Nam Kyung-sang hoped for. He asked again, but this time his voice wavered slightly. This worried most of us who makes test codes. This on top of all the program codes may be too much for us. How do you plan to fix this? Woosung massaged the back of his neck and gave an exasperated answer. If you paid attention to my presentation, you wouldn't be asking these questions. This is very disappointing. Nam Kyung-sang's face reddened brightly as Woosung continued. When we calculate man/month, do we calculate only the quantity of work? No. We consider the quality and complexity of the programming too. The more test codes you create, the easier your workload will become. This concept is already being applied at Google and Microsoft. The effectiveness of this system will easily outweigh the increase in the amount of work. I understood that, but what I meant was your plan may work in certain cases but not all. What you said is only an example and you cannot promise anything at this point. Woosung realized there was nothing he could say to convince him. Nam Kyung-sang was refusing to accept it. It was a waste of time. Then let's do this. You should continue your work as is. In fact, anyone here who doesn't agree with me can continue to do the same. We will provide those who would like to follow my proposal with all the help you need. We will do a trial of 3 months, and afterward, we can compare the result of the point system. I didn't mean that I refuse to accept your idea. Then do you have a better plan in mind? Nam Kyung-sang became silent. He had nothing. The only thing he could come up with was the disadvantage of the Agile method. He wanted to embarrass Woosung in any way possible, so this was what he came up with. Knowing this, Woosung looked at him and continued. You think my plan isn't good, so what you need to do is prove that the existing system is better, or do you think you can't do it? Nam Kyung-sang had to nod to Woosung's public challenge. Kwon Hyunjian grimaced. Leaving the conference room, Kwon Hyunjian asked a worried question to Nam Kyung-sang. You are confident you can do this, right? Nam Kyung-sang was a man of determination. I looked into it, an Agile method is nothing special. It just sounds fancy. It's a method Nuri Finance's IT team leader approved, which means it's not nothing. He is not planning to apply a brand new system. He is only changing the development method. In Korea, it is best to use the existing Korean method. If you say so. Kwon Hyunjian still looked concerned though. You'll see. If I put my mind to it, I will win. I don't doubt your skills. Nam Kyung-sang's face darkened as he saw 2 people nearby. Kwok Jung-wook from Nuri Finances was whispering to Woosung. Nam Kyung-sang couldn't stand it. Until recently, he was the most competent developer, but now, everything has changed. I hate his guts. As the two soon took the elevator, Nam Kyung-sang glared at them. After the presentation, someone called Woosung to visit the CEO of Nuri Finances. There were a lot of unfamiliar people in the CEO's room. I must have done something right if I get to meet the boss. In his previous life, he never got to see the CEO, Na Jae-man. He was an older man who was just losing his hair. Huh, so you are the famous developer. How do you do? My name is Woosung Kang. I see. Have a seat. You too, Assistant Manager Kwok. When they sat down, Na Jae-man introduced them to everyone in the room. This is the one who really wanted to meet you, so I arranged this meeting. Mr. Jang, this is the developer you wanted to see. Solidly built Jang Guangchul laughed as he offered his hand to Woosung. Haha, hello. My name is Guangchul Jang. You made me a lot of money recently. Woosung has never seen him before. When he looked confused, Jang Guangchul explained. I am a customer of Nuri Finances. I noticed how great the HTS has become recently, so I asked to see the developer. He was so confident. He was straightforward and self-assured. Woosung suddenly realized. VIP. Jang Guangchul was probably one of the major traders. I appreciate your compliment. I am happy that you like my work. Like it? No, I love it. I have been recommending Nuri Finances to every trader I know. Na Jae-man added. Haha, that's why we gained so many new users recently. It was all thanks to you, Mr. Jang. Jang Guangchul shook his head. Not me. It's all thanks to your wonderful developer. Everyone was in such a good mood. When the meeting ended, Kwok Jung-wook and Woosung left the room. Kwok Jung-wook was flustered. Woosung, I can't believe Mr. Jang was interested in you. Wow, this is unbelievable. Jang Guangchul. Woosung couldn't remember him from his previous life. Don't tell anyone, but Mr. Jang is our black-level customer. His trading limit is $10 million. $10 million. Woosung was someone who would wield billions of dollars if everything went according to his plan. 10 million didn't feel much to Woosung. Oh, I see. He is very famous on the internet too. Do you know how many members he has on his website? Before Woosung could reply, Kwok Jung-wook answered. 30,000 people. 30,000. However, Woosung still appeared to be unimpressed. Mr. Jang rarely gives out his business card. Take it out and have a look. Woosung took out the card from his pocket. Paper was usually the material used for a business card, but not this one was plastic. Jang Guangchul's name was written on it in bright gold. Woosung asked. He likes flashy things. That's real gold. Woosung finally seemed surprised and impressed. What? Real gold? He asked people to write his name in 24K gold. If you sell it, you'll be able to get about $200. Then why did he give it to me? It means that he approved your work. Woosung murmured. I need no one's approval. Kwok Jung-wook laughed. Huh, you are so confident. I think that's why the boss likes you even more. Woosung looked at him curiously when his cell phone beeped. There was a text message. It was nice to meet you today. I heard I am older than you, so please consider me your older brother. It was a message from Jang Guangchul. Woosung pressed delete immediately. Would you like to delete the message? Yes. I am an only child. I don't have an older brother. What? Huh, I was just talking to myself. As they walked back to the office, Kwok Jung-wook continued to talk about Jang Guangchul, but Woosung wasn't listening. He thinks he's so great because he's rich. Why would I treat him like an older brother? Jiang Guangchul's demeanor reminded Woosung of Choi Gichul. He grimaced. As soon as Woosung returned to the office, Yoon Gewon grinned. Newbie's back. You went to meet the CEO, didn't you? Park Junwoo and Kim Yong-gun also looked at Woosung with curiosity. When Woosung nodded, they exclaimed. Really? What did you guys talk about? Did he offer you a job too? Nothing like that. He introduced me to some of our HTS customers. Customers? Park Junwoo asked. You mean the VIPs? Didn't we just hear the VIPs loved your work? Yoon Gewon replied excitedly. That's right. VIPs. Yes. I met those people. One of them even gave me his business card. Woosung brought out the shiny golden card. Park Junwoo didn't seem to recognize it, but Kim Yong-gun's eyes widened. This guy. Did you meet him? When Woosung nodded, Kim Yong-gun explained excitedly. This is the founder of the famous website Fire Ant Trading Club. Other famous traders charge money to give lessons, but this guy provides free seminars and does a lot of charity works. Kim Yong-gun stared at the business card. Woosung asked him. How do you know this? I am a member of that website too. I am interested in stock trading. Yoon Gewon reprimanded Kim Yong-gun firmly. I told you not to get involved in stock trading. You can't get involved as an employee of a financial company. Kim Yong-gun denied nervously. I'm not doing it. I am just studying it for the future. Yoon Gewon repeated himself. Do not do it, okay? Woosung stepped in to change the topic. Now that the presentation is over, there will be many people asking for help. Let's make sure we do a good job. Yoon Gewon asked Woosung. Newbie, are you sure you are new to this? You sound like a PM. Woosung gave a nonchalant reply. I'm just working hard. Everyone smiled and went back to work. There were 4 divisions in the IT department of a stock trading company. Account. Channel. Information. Infra. The main aspects of the account system were dealing with transactions and account balances. Channel system focused on HTS and homepage maintenance. Information sector worked on CRM, which was collecting users' data to recommend appropriate products. Infra dealt with the hardware such as L2, L3, and IBM mainframe. ST took care of the account system and Daesan managed the channel. Daeyong dealt with information while M3 Soft maintained infra. Daeyong was the head of all these companies as well. The fact that Daesan won the development process consulting deal with Nuri Finances was something Daeyong was not happy about. Yoon Gewon forwarded an email to Woosung. I just received the word that Daeyong and ST won't follow your idea. M3 will be the only one in this trial. Woosung opened his email and read the first message. It was a politely written rejection. We researched the Agile method ourselves and decided it was not applicable for us at this point. If the trial by other companies shows success, then we will accept the system. It wasn't a flat-out no. They were being sneaky. Yoon Gewon murmured cynically. So they are saying they won't apply it now. They'll wait and see what happens. Woosung tightened his lips and nodded. They want to see what happens. They are always like this. I am used to it. They are trying to minimize their responsibility. Read the one from ST2. They didn't even try to be polite. With many years of experience, ST has developed its own system that is both effective and productive. We do not believe Agile is better than our method. They are more honest about it at least. Yoon Gewon murmured in irritation. TSK. What are they going to do when they realize they've made a mistake? So it was only M3 Soft and Daesan. Agile may not be the answer to everything, but I will make it work. He was from the future. This was an easy game to win. We should first arrange a meeting with M3 Soft. They are currently using the system monitoring, right? Yoon Gwon nodded and Woosung grinned. Then I have a good idea. The members shuddered at Woosung's evil smile. When Woosung came home, he sat in front of his computer. He searched the website Fire Ant Trading Club. Avid followers of the program nicknamed the founder the Fire Ant. Jang Guangchul. Woosung joined the club post-haste and studied the website. He read the comments and realized that here, Jang Guangchul was revered as the god of stock trading. I almost lost everything, but you saved me, Fire Ant. I was on the verge of divorce, but your advice really helped. Thank you so much. I almost lost all my savings, but you saved me. It seemed like the members almost saw Jang Guangchul as a star. If these comments are true, he may be an okay guy. Due to his past, Woosung was always suspicious of everyone nowadays. He didn't want anyone to betray again. He also provided his Psyworld address. When Woosung clicked it, there were daily reports and photos uploaded by Jang Guangchul. +2, $100. Not much earning today. +8, $000. I think I'm awesome. +2, $200. I don't mind paying high taxes, but this kind of income won't let me. Even on bad days, he was making at least $1,000 a day. Woosung could now understand why people admired him. He was even getting a bit jealous. After reading through the website, he turned off the monitor. Before the screen darkened, his ID on the website was visible. God of Money. That was the name Woosung chose for himself. February 21st. Woosung took a day off from work to attend his graduation ceremony. Those graduates who didn't have a job yet didn't show up, while others who got hired by major corporations had a proud smile. They were all familiar faces. They looked so young. He knew how they would look in 10 years. Most would marry and have kids. Woosung smiled too. His mother, Kim Eun-young, asked. "What's with your proud smile?" "Haha. It's just nice to see so many young people. You sound like an old man." Woosung scratched his head and laughed awkwardly. "Oh. Haha." His father, Kang Gichun, added. "Now that you're graduated and got a job, it's time to meet a nice young girl and get married." All right, Dad. I will get married soon and give you a grandson." 10 years ago, he would have dismissed his dad, but he felt different now. Woosung tried to be understanding and appreciative. Kim Eun-young looked at him funny and asked. "Oh yeah? Do you even have a girlfriend?" "Hey, there are many girls who would be lucky to have me." "Hey look, they are waving at me." His friends were calling for him from afar. They were his classmates from the computer science program at Songwon University. In his previous life, he stopped attending the annual reunions after 2 years of working, which meant it had been almost 8 years since he last saw his classmates. More than anything, Woosung felt strange when he saw Yoon Chonjong. Yoon Chonjong. He was a talented developer and graduated top of the class. A major company hired him and everyone was envious of him. Woosung used to be jealous of him too. "Chonjong. You're here. I heard you got a job." Another classmate, Park Jong-yun, greeted him. "I heard you got hired by a company called Daesan." When Woosung nodded, he continued. "Is your salary decent there? If not, you should have waited to find a better job." It's not bad. It's a medium-sized company, so it can't be that great." Yoon Chonjong hushed Park Jong-yun and added. "It doesn't matter which company you work for as long as you have the skills." Park Jong-yun didn't agree. "But it's always better to work at a big company." "Chonjong, you work at Daeyong now, so I hope you include me in your Daeyong study group." Daeyong System. It was one of the major companies partnered with Nuri Finances and also oversaw its outsource companies. Woosung knew it very well. Fine, but you need to work hard. If you don't, you're out. While the two chatted, Woosung looked around. He still didn't get to see the person he wanted to see the most. Huh, Yoriam is here too. She rarely comes to any of the school events. Woosung paused, then turned around. Yoriam. She also graduated top of this class and was hired by Daeyoung system like Yoon Chanjang. She was also Woosung's first love. She looks exactly as I remember. Park Jong-yun said enviously. Whoever marries Yoriam is a lucky man. She has such big bow *BS. Yoon Chanjang poked him to make him stop. Refusing to take the hint, Park Jong-yun asked Woosung. How was dating Yoriam? Did you guys do it? Was it good? Yoon Chanjang glared at him, but he didn't stop. Who cares now? They broke up anyway. Woosung was the only one who got to date her. Tell us about her. Her hometown was Gyeongsang Province, which was far away. Her parents were poor farmers, so not to become a burden, she worked hard to get a full scholarship. Woosung knew how hard she worked. She always had a part-time job just to make a living while attending school. Compared to her, he felt lazy and useless. When Woosung remained silent, Park Jong-yun asked again. Now that I remember, Yoriam lived alone, right? Wow, it must have been great. Just then, Yoriam and some other classmates approached them. Woosung had never been this nervous in his life. It was cold, but he was sweating profusely. Yoriam glanced at Woosung briefly and talked to Yoon Chanjang. You came too. Where did you apply? She looked great in a neat white blouse. Park Jong-yun looked nervous too. Yoon Chanjang answered. I applied to get into the Solution Development Department. How about you? Financial Department. I heard some promising things about it. They talked casually. They were now both working at Daeyoung System, which meant they probably took the same introductory seminars and spent time together. Woosung gave an envious look at them. While Woosung focused on Yoriam, another female classmate asked him. I heard you got a job too. You didn't study hard, but you got a job so quickly. Park Jong-yun teased him mercilessly. It's only a medium-sized company called Daesan. Well, a job is a job. Yoriam glanced at Woosung again. Woosung smiled and answered. Huh, it's all thanks to Chanjang. He told me to apply, and I got the job. It really was thanks to Yoon Chanjang. He encouraged him and even taught him some possible interview questions. Even then, Woosung avoided Yoon Chanjang 10 years ago because he was jealous. Woosung felt like an idiot. He was so young back then. Yoriam congratulated him. Well, I'm glad you got a job. It's all about how good you are in this field anyway, not what kind of company you work for. Woosung looked at Yoriam. As the time passed, his nervousness subsided. He now realized what he felt was nostalgia, not love. Thanks. I'll do my best. To Woosung's indifference, Yoriam widened her eyes in confusion. Cool. Good luck. Park Jong-yun seemed to still be jealous as he added. But it's still only a small company. You can't call yourself a success if you don't work for a major firm. You guys are all idiots. Another female classmate replied in annoyance. You don't even have a job. Hey, I'm prepping myself to get into a big corporation. Chanjang promised to help me, so it will happen soon. You'll see. PSH, you're all talk. Time passed quickly as they talked. Woosung called his parents, who were touring the school. Ring ring. Ring ring. Kim Un-young answered brightly. Son. Mom, where are you? I'm ready to go now. Why, son? You can spend more time with your friends if you want. His mom's voice sounded too cheerful. Let me know where you are, I will find you. The school had a lot of students, so it should have been noisy, but Woosung heard no noise on the phone. He could also hear a stranger's voice talking to his mom. Okay. Then let's go. He sounded familiar. Mom, who are you talking to? Are you still near the main entrance? Oh, I'm almost there. Here. A black sedan approached Woosung's group. It was a Mercedes-Benz. It stopped right in front of Woosung. Park Jong-yun murmured in surprise. Benz. It's an S-Series too. Park Jong-yun looked at Woosung. Is this your parents' car? Other classmates murmured curiously. Wow. Is Woosung from a rich family? Cha-Yoriam also couldn't hide her surprise. Kim Un-young came out of the car with a smile. Woosung. Woosung froze. He remembered the day he died. Black sedan. A stranger driving a black car. Woosung shouted. Mom, what is this? Hey, why are you screaming? Jang Guangchul came out from the driver's side. Woosung still couldn't calm down. Why would you get into a stranger's car? Kang Gichin also seemed confused. Jang Guangchul approached Woosung. Don't get mad. I offered to drive them. Your family is now my family too. Woosung was cold to him. You're not my brother. I am an only child. Huh, you definitely act like the god of money. Very practical. I like it. Woosung didn't like this situation. There was no guarantee that Jang Guangchul wasn't like Choi Gichul. If he harmed his parents. Woosung's eyes filled with fury. Jang Guangchul added kindly. Don't look at me like that. I meant no harm. I heard it's your graduation today, so I got you a present. Jang Guangchul dropped the car key into Woosung's hand. Woosung's eyes widened in shock. You have a driver's license, right? Everyone became speechless. Jang Guangchul left in a hurry. It felt like a dream, but the Mercedes-Benz S-Class in front of him was real. Suddenly, Woosung's cell phone vibrated. It was a text from Jang Guangchul. Little brother, do I now deserve to have lunch with you? Jang Guangchul kept calling Woosung his little brother. Before Woosung could process this situation, Kim Un-young opened the door and said excitedly. Woosung, try it out. It's amazing. That man also said he'll pay for the insurance and maintenance. Mom. Come on. When will we ever get the chance to drive a car like this? Look at how much your dad loves it too. Kang Gichin couldn't take his eyes off the car. It was the same for his classmates. Both Yoon Chanjong and Cha Yoriam kept looking at the car and Woosung in shock. Woosung was pleased. Park Jong-yun asked. Who was that? You aren't part of the mob, are you? I heard people get involved in illegal online gambling. Woosung scowled at him. Kim Un-young heard this and asked Woosung worriedly. Woosung, that's not true, right? He had to explain. He's one of the company's VIPs and he's just thanking me for my work. Don't listen to my friend. Park Jong-yun continued annoyingly. He can't be a stock trader. Didn't you see his face? He looked scary and had a gold necklace. He was definitely a mob. Kim Un-young frowned even more. Woosung didn't want to worry his mom. He had to make sure she understood. If I had a smartphone, I could just show it to her quickly. But then an idea snapped through his mind. Woosung asked Park Jong-yun. You have a laptop, right? Give it to me. Why? This is expensive. I can't lend it to you. I'm not asking to borrow it. I just want to look him up. Luckily, the school had wireless internet. Woosung opened Jang Guangchul's Cyworld and showed everyone the man's reports and activities. Everyone became speechless as they stared at Woosung in shock. However, more than anyone, it surprised Park Jong-yun a whole lot more. Why would someone like him be nice to you? I guess he appreciates how hard I work. Chanjong, it's all thanks to you. You're the one who told me to apply to Daesan. I will buy you lunch sometime. Yoon Chanjong nodded. Woosung also looked at Cha Yoriam. I am thankful to you too. You encouraged me to work hard. Let's get together sometime with Chanjong. We'll meet again, anyway. Cha Yoriam looked confused. What do you mean? Kim Eun-young asked Woosung. Son, let's go now. I'm hungry and that man said he made a reservation for us at a restaurant. He said to just let them know his name and they will take care of us. Kim Eun-young said it loudly, wanting everyone to hear. He said to go to the Baekji Hotel. Park Jong-yun couldn't hide his envy. After taking back his laptop, he murmured quietly. Should I also apply to smaller companies now? Woosung got into the car and Kang Gichin filled himself with an obvious hint of happiness as he drove away. After the meal, Woosung's parents returned home first. Woosung wanted to meet with Jang Guangchul alone. Sitting at the hotel lounge, Woosung called him. Within a few seconds, Jang Guangchul showed up waving at Woosung as if he was expecting this. Huh, little brother, were you looking for me? Woosung was still suspicious about this entire deal. What do you think you're doing? You are so different from everyone else. Most people would suck up to me by now. Then you should talk to them. But those people are weak. If you are confident of your skills, then there is no need to bow down to anyone. When Woosung remained silent, Jang Guangchul smiled and guided Woosung to a private room. Huh, let's go inside. We have a lot to talk about. Woosung followed Jang Guangchul. How about we have some wine? Alcohol is good for relaxing. Woosung answered coldly. I don't want to drink. Did I do anything to offend you? Not yet. Huh, I guess that's good. I just don't believe in freebies. Woosung remembered the day he died. Choi Gichul took him to an expensive private club. Jang Guangchul probably wasn't like Choi Gichul, but Woosung still had to be on guard. Their last syllables are even the same. Jang Guangchul. Choi Gichul. He just didn't like it. When Woosung frowned, Jang Guangchul continued. Huh, that's true. Then I should tell you the reason. Jang Guangchul took out his PDA and connected to his website. He then brought up the posts Woosung uploaded. Your nickname is God of Money, right? Woosung nodded. You wrote about the basics of algorithm trading. Woosung nodded again. When he registered to become a member of this website, one requirement was to upload a few useful posts. After reading these, I called Nuri Finances and asked about you. They had a lot of great things to say. On top of the speed trading, you also did a presentation on changing the development process. They know you for being a talented developer, and you're only 26. It's true. Ha ha ha. Your confidence is overwhelming. Because it's true. I agree, and that is why I want to be your friend. For my skills. Jang Guangchul got close to Woosung and sniffed him. Surprised, Woosung stepped back. I smell money on you. You will be big, and I can't stay away from you. Yoon Gi-won said the similar thing before. What's happening? Did I get more attractive or something? Woosung wondered if, on top of becoming smarter, he got better looks too, but that wasn't the case. Just like you, I am interested in IT. It's the future, but it is hard to find someone talented in this field. It's even harder to find someone who can see the future as well. Woosung realized what Jang Guangchul was talking about. Do you think I am that person? They say money makes more money, but what moves money is a person. Someone like you. It was an overwhelming compliment, but Woosung remained unfazed by it. He just nodded. I already know that. Jang Guangchul opened his mouth in shock. Woosung agreed with him. Bitcoin. He had the chance of a lifetime in his hand. There was no doubt Woosung will become rich. Really? Yes. He could have thought Woosung was being arrogant, but Jiang Guangchul thought differently. Ha, ha. If you already knew, then this conversation will be quick. I would like to offer you a job. Working at Daesan will be the last time I work for someone. Then how about becoming my partner? Jiang Guangchul was desperate not to lose Woosung. He licked his lips. How could he use him? Woosung still couldn't trust Jiang Guangchul, but he wanted to still gain something from this without being bound to him. There was one way. I can make the program for you on the side. Do you even know what I want? My post on algorithm trading got your interest. So I assume you want something like it. Huh, I knew you would get me. So how much would you charge? Woosung didn't care if he would get this job, so he asked high. $500,000. I'll give you $700,000. Make me something good. This time, Woosung was the one left dumbfounded. What? My only requirement is that you make me an algorithmic system you can be proud of. Jiang Guangchul wasn't shy about giving compliments. He was also very generous. A car and now $700,000. He was unexpected. Why don't we get a contract today? Maybe after another drink? Well, I guess I can have a glass. There was no way someone who just offered him $700,000 would mean him harm. Woosung could finally relax a bit. Kim Yong-gun looked at the new posts on the website, Fire Ant Trading Club. One of the most viewed was titled, The Basics of Algorithm Trading. The nickname of the author was especially memorable. God of Money. It sounded great, so he clicked it. The Basics of Algorithm Trading. It is a way to buy and sell stocks following strict guidelines. Even if you don't use an automated computer system, if you have your own rules you follow, that would still be considered an algorithm. Huh. Kim Yong-gun always thought algorithm trading only referred to using an automated system, but according to this member, one could just have a personal rule. Having rules, or algorithm, is the basis of trading. If you do not have an algorithm, people would sneer at you and call what you're doing a gamble rather than a trade. Therefore, so many people fail at stock trading. It felt like someone just hit him with a hammer. Huh. It's going up. I need to buy now. What? It's dropping. Should I sell? Sell. Oh no. It's too late. Damn it. Shoot. I shouldn't have sold. Kim Yong-gun has lost a lot in the market. He had no rules, he just bought and sold as he felt. He skimmed pieces of information regarding trading, but it became apparent now that this was not enough. You need to make it into a smart investment transaction, not gambling. Then what would be the biggest difference between the two? Gambling depends on your luck, but investing depends on mathematical chance. The difference between luck and chance is whether you can or cannot improve it. This is the biggest and most important difference. Mathematical chance is something you can improve if you put your mind to it. Kim Yong-gun couldn't stop reading this relevant info. God of Money has posted. Everything he said made sense. He wanted to absorb everything. One of the best hedge fund managers was Edward Thorpe. He was a brilliant mathematician who turned the game of blackjack into a probability game. He even wrote a book about it. While you depended your victories on your luck when gambling, he calculated the odds and made profits. The post even included a useful example. Edward Thorpe. It was the first time Kim Yong-gun heard this name. The only people he knew were Warren Buffett or George Soros. Reading quickly, Kim Yong-gun hit the last paragraph. Therefore, the basis of algorithm trading is mathematical probability. As you increase the probability, you will improve your earning. Kim Yong-gun clicked the like button for the post made by God of Money, which already had 3,108 likes. Woosung's post was the most viewed and most liked post in the history of this website. Woosung arrived at work with a frown. I didn't even drink that much last night, yet. 30-year-old Ballantine. Jang Guangchul had ordered a bottle which had a cost of over $1,000. It was so strong that Woosung only drank a little, but he still felt awful the next morning. He must be really rich. $100,000 must be nothing to him. Woosung couldn't even guess how rich Jang Guangchul was. He had at least $10 million in cash for stock trading, but Jang Guangchul must also have other investments. Woosung sighed. He could still smell the alcohol on his breath. When Yoon Gyewan came by, he could smell it too. Newbie, did you drink the Ballantine yesterday? Huh. I am a drink expert. Let me see. Yoon Gyewan came even closer and sniffed Woosung. He acts just like Jang Guangchul. I'll bet they'll get along great. Yoon Gyewan continued. My guess would be that it was a 30-year-old bottle. Wow. A single bottle costs about $1,000. How can you afford something like that already? He looked a bit disappointed. Woosung shook his head and answered. I drank it, but I didn't buy it. Then who bought it for you? It must have been an expensive night. Who could? Wait. Did you? I need to tell you something. Let's go somewhere private. Woosung told Yoon Gyewan everything that happened at his graduation. He had no intention of working on Jang Guangchul's algorithm system by himself. There were so many other things he had to do. He planned to divide the work with Yoon Gyewan, and if he agreed, he wanted Yoon Gyewan to take care of the maintenance too. When he heard Woosung's plan, Yoon Gyewan kept silent. He took out a cigarette and put it in his mouth without lighting it. When Woosung struck a strange gaze at him, Yoon Gyewan answered. I quit smoking. Oh. What do you think? Would it be better than staying at Daesan? It would be better to stay here for now, but when we develop the system, it would depend on how well we do. Will you be completely off this project? After much thought, Woosung answered. It would depend on how Jang Guangchul does. So I will act as your scout. I will spy on him for you. True, but you will make a lot more money. With your skill, you should be able to go far with the system, but if you don't want to, you don't have to do it. He didn't think for long. Yoon Gyewan threw away the cigarette. I'll do it. Good choice. It's a great opportunity for you. I think this Jang Guangchul character is a good guy. At the very least, he's very generous. That he is. They returned to the office. Woosung checked his email when he returned to his seat. After reading all the work emails, he checked his personal ones. One of the new emails caught his attention. Sender, Microsoft. Title, GUI Test Tool Use Request. It was an email asking Woosung to allow Microsoft to add the GUI Test Tool function to the Visual Studio. Woosung had uploaded GTT on SourceForge for the public to use for free. He also agreed to the MIT license, which allowed others to use it freely for business purposes. This meant Microsoft did not have to ask Woosung's permission, but as one of the best software development companies in the world, it wanted to maintain an ethical image. Woosung read the rest of the message out loud. And while using my program, they plan to name me the MVP, Most Valuable Professional, of the Visual Studio and Development Technologies Department. MVP. It was an honor for Microsoft to name someone an MVP. It also came with benefits of free MSDN subscription and invitations to MS-related global summits. There were less than 100 Koreans part of the MS MVP list. Yoon Gyewan heard Woosung's murmur and came by to read the email. MS MVP. Wow. Newbie, you are so. Park Junwoo and Kim Yong-gun also turned around. MS. Are you referring to Microsoft MVP? Yes. They want to name me the MVP. Yoon Gwon urged Woosung to read on further. In addition, we would honor you to be a guest speaker regarding GUI test tool at our 2008 Microsoft Development Conference. The conference would take place in March. PDC, Professional Developers Conference. In 2011, the name of this conference would change to Build. It took place at Seattle, which was where the MS headquarters resided. It was a sought-after event, and it usually sold out within 5 minutes of its release. Unfortunately, it wasn't an invitation to the PDC. It's not an invitation to PDC. There will be an MS seminar in Korea regarding the use of Visual Studio and the future of IT, and they want me to be one of the speakers. Park Jun-woo couldn't hide his excitement. He read the email himself carefully. Who cares? This is still an MS seminar, and they invited you. I guess. Anyone who speak at these seminars were well-known people. Yoon Gwon glanced at Park Jun-woo, who seemed thrilled. Manager Park, you seem very interested in MS. Park Jun-woo calmed down a little, but he still had his eyes fixated on the email. When I first started out, I dreamt of becoming a famous developer and speak at such events. I would love to work at MS, but I realize now that it's not possible. Kim Yong-gun understood. He added, well, every developer dreams of working at MS, Google, Oracle. Yoon Gwon put his hand on Woosung's shoulder and asked. Does this mean that among all of us, you are the only one whose dream came true? This was becoming uncomfortable. It's not like that. Park Jun-woo felt different. He smiled bitterly and left the office. Kim Yong-gun followed after him. When Woosung tried to follow them, Yoon Gwon stopped him. If you follow them now, they'll feel even worse. I'll go talk to them. Woosung had to stay put. Park Jun-woo sat on a bench outside. Kim Yong-gun bought a can of warm honey water and offered it to him. Assistant Manager Kim, what have I accomplished with my life so far? Don't think like that. You worked hard. Woosung is an unusual case. Phew. I recently realized what a fool I am. Envy, doubt, and jealousy. These feelings have overwhelmed me so. Everyone feels like that sometimes. Me too. Whenever I see the newbie, I feel like I've wasted my life. It's not too late. You can still do whatever you want to. Kim Yong-gun tried to encourage him, but it didn't work. Really? I don't know. I have been a failure so far. Don't think like that. It's possible. It really is. But. After a quick pause, Kim Yong-gun continued. There is one condition. Park Jun-woo looked at Kim Yong-gun curiously. You need to be willing to work under Woosung. What do you mean? Did you hear the conversation between General Manager Yoon and Woosung? Park Jun-woo shook his head. Woosung said he drank the 30-year-old Ballantine. Who do you think bought him such an expensive drink? Who? I eavesdropped on them. It was the fire ant Jang Guangchul. Jang Guangchul asked Woosung to make something for him. Woosung then asked the general manager to do it instead. And you think we should ask him to include us? Kim Yong-gun nodded. You know how talented Woosung is. If we learn from him and be around him, good things will happen to us. Kim Yong-gun was determined. It's not the time to save your pride. I have decided to have Woosung as my boss. I'm sure he'll accept me. Boss? Are you suggesting that he'll leave this place and make his own company? Eventually. His talent doesn't stop at developing. Kim Yong-gun continued instantaneously. Most people fail at daytime trading because they are gambling. What are you talking about? This is something the newbie said. Woosung joined the website by Jang Guangchul and uploaded a post. This is what he said in it. I'm sure it's Woosung. Kim Yong-gun followed his statement quick with a twinkle in his eyes. Do you know how many views he had on his post? Over 30,000. He is no ordinary man. Park Jun-woo felt bitter. He could never compare to Woosung. I have decided. I will follow him wherever he goes. He will be somebody. Suddenly, someone yelled at them from behind. And how do you know he'll take you? Kim Yong-gun looked around in shock. Yoon Gi-won was standing there. He looked angry. General Manager. I was wondering what you guys are doing. You've been having a meeting of your own. No. It's not like that. After a pause, Kim Yong-gun went on. How much did you hear? Yoon Gi-won raised his hand but paused. He then sighed and dropped his hand. Who cares? Just continue your story about what Woosung wrote on his post. Frightened, Kim Yong-gun told him everything he knew. Woosung felt awkward when Park Jun-woo and Kim Yong-gun returned. 10 years ago, they helped and encouraged him. If he hadn't met them then, he wouldn't have made it in this industry. So you both want to be a part of Jang Guangchul's project? Kim Yong-gun gave an emphatic nod. Park Jun-woo fell silent, but he extended his agreement too. I need to warn you, it will be a hard road. You won't have weekends off and you may have to work up to 20 hours a day. Kim Yong-gun swallowed hard. Park Jun-woo replied slowly. MS recognized you. If we can become like you, then. Woosung stopped Park Jun-woo and added. I think you guys misunderstood me. What I'm doing is not charity work. Park Jun-woo flinched to Woosung's cold voice. If it doesn't benefit me, I won't do it. Park Jun-woo understood what he did wrong. I know well that you two are great people, but that's it. I know you can do your jobs at Daesan, but anything outside, I can't be sure if you have the skills. Park Jun-woo's face reddened in embarrassment. Kim Yong-gun realized the situation and objected. Then what should we do? Just the fact you're asking me is a problem. You are being too dependent on me. General Manager Yoon may not be the nicest person, but he knows what he's doing. He rarely asks for my guidance. Kim Yong-gun closed his eyes. Park Jun-woo looked away and asked. So you're saying? No. Woosung didn't want to them a flat-out rejection. They gave him a chance 10 years ago, and Woosung wanted to do the same for them. Let's do it this way. You two should lead our current development process change consultation. If you can complete it successfully, I'll take you. Kim Yong-gun replied. But. Park Jun-woo looked at Woosung with determination. That's a good idea. I don't want to be a burden to you, anyway. You two will also get bonuses based on the result of this project, so it should be a win-win situation for you. Woosung went back to his seat. He could see how determined Park Jun-woo was. He knew he could trust him. 6:30 p.m. The end of a workday. Park Jun-woo and Kim Yong-gun seemed determined as they continued to work. Woosung picked up his briefcase and said his goodbye, but no one even noticed. I'll see you tomorrow. Yoon Gi-won was also focused on his monitor. They all remained seated. Is it because of what I said earlier? He wasn't a nice guy. He only did things beneficial to him. That meant that he would drop anything or anyone unnecessary. If they wanted to work with him, they had to prove their skills. If they want to be with me, this is the least they can do. Woosung left the office. As soon as he left, Woosung received a text. I sent you a $100,000 deposit. Woosung replied immediately. Thank you. As I told you earlier, I will send the system to you in a document format by next Wednesday. I will not be able to finalize all the details, so please understand. Whatever you say. I trust you, little brother. Woosung knew what that meant. Do whatever you think is necessary. You know what to do. Take care of it. You can do it yourself. Vague requests were always the scariest. Woosung replied immediately. I will do my best. Ha ha ha. Of course. Woosung took a deep breath. $100,000. He was another step closer to his goal. When he got home, Woosung turned his computer on and checked his bank account. $122,400.50. In his previous life, he took 10 years to save $100,000, but this time, it took less than 2 months. I will make sure to add a lot more zeros to my balance. He felt proud of himself. He was going in the right direction. His mother called him just then. Son, dinner's ready. Be right there. Woosung transferred $20,000 and left his room. The dinner table was bare with modest dishes, but it was more satisfying to Woosung than having a meal at an expensive hotel. Mom, I just transferred you $20,000, so pay back the rest of your mortgage. Kim Woosung trembled as she asked. What? I did another extra project with that guy you met and I got paid more. We need to pay back all the debts first. But you already gave us $20,000. You got another $20,000. Woosung tried to change the topic. This miso soup is great. What? Why would he give you $20,000? Woosung shrugged. I'm that good. Kim Woosung tried to remain calm. She worried for Woosung as she remembered what his friend said at his graduation. She asked nervously. You aren't involved in illegal online gambling, right? Woosung proclaimed with confidence. I told you it's not like that. Jang Guangchul hired me for a project and I got paid for it. Kim Woosung was still anxious. He could see her hand shook in her own agitation. But why would he give you so much money? I heard the car he gave you is also worth over $100,000, and he gave you another $20,000. Not for free. I worked for it. Kang Woosung turned to Woosung and said seriously. Woosung, I make a little over $1,000 a month as a security guard. You told me you would make less than $2,000 a month. He sounded angry. He thought Woosung was lying to them. Woosung realized his parents would not believe him without proof. He brought out the contract with Jang Guangchul and showed it to them. Kang Woosung and Kim Woosung read it carefully. Their worry turned into joy and pride as they realized that Woosung was telling the truth. Woosung. This is real, right? Yes. Of the $700,000, my portion will only be about half. I have to pay my coworkers with the other half. Even then, it's $350,000. Just be patient. I will buy you a nice apartment in Gangnam soon. Kim Woosung couldn't contain her emotions. When did my little boy grow up? Woosung became emotional too. If he stayed, they were all going to cry. I grew up because you fed me so well. I'm done eating. I have to get to work. Woosung went back to his room. After transferring $20,000, he had $102,000 left. He needed much more money. Woosung checked the Kospi first. 1,734. It was too high to buy any stocks right now. In October, it would drop to 900s. That would be his chance to make money. He thought about dabbling in real estate, but he didn't have enough funds. Woosung deliberated to himself about big future events he could take advantage of. He opened the file he created and looked through it. Nothing major would happen soon, at least not anything that could make him money. The only thing he could do now was work on Jang Guangchul's system. Most programming occurred in following steps. 1. Analyze the request. Understand exactly what the customer wants. 2. Organize the list of functions. 3. Design. 4. Develop. 5. Test. 6. Maintain. He only had a limited amount of time and not enough of it for himself. He skipped the first 2 steps and went straight to the third stage. Design. There were many things to design. He had to decide on the physical servers for the program, which functions to upload on each server, the relationships between them, and the software. I should check what's available on Amazon Seoul region. Woosung didn't want to buy an expensive server. Instead, he planned to use the Amazon Web Services and pay as he goes. Thank God EC2 is available. This is the only thing I need. EC2 service could be the foundation. I can upload the program here. Woosung checked the functions available on AWS, Amazon Web Services, and designed the system architecture. Woosung felt exhausted as he went to work. Last night he ended up working till 4 in the morning. He almost worked all night, except his mother noticed the light in his room and insisted he go to bed. Despite his fatigue, Woosung felt happy. My concentration level is amazing now. It wasn't just his IQ that improved. His concentration and patience all enhanced as well. Woosung was satisfied with the way he was now. He smiled as he greeted everyone. Good morning. Oh, hi. Good morning to you too, Woosung. How's it going? None of his coworkers looked well. Their eyes were half closed. He spotted cans of energy drinks and coffee all around their desks and some lying on the ground. They must be working really hard. Park Junwoo stood up and asked Woosung. Hey, I made a list of things to inform the infra department. Could you take a look? Woosung was glad to help. Unlike his cold demeanor yesterday, Woosung had a tender tone. Haha, of course. Kim Yong-gun also stood up and asked for Woosung. After you're done there, could you have a look at my test codes? Sure thing. Yoon Gi-won also asked Woosung. Newbie, after you are done with these two, come and see me. Woosung was about to answer when a stranger greeted him from behind. Hello. I'm an assistant manager from Daeyoung System. My name is Jae-jin Kim. I wanted to let you know that my PM would like to see you now. Woosung had an idea of what the meeting would be about. Is he thinking about giving me that job? This is sooner than I expected. Woosung looked at Yoon Gi-won, who reacted as expected. You can't order us around like this. You should have at least sent us an email to let us know ahead of time. This is unreasonable. Kim Jae-jin bit his lips. General Manager. Damn it, that stupid Kwon Tae-jian. Kwon Tae-jian. He was the PM of Daeyoung System. Yoon Gi-won frowned in fury, but Woosung calmed him down. Let's just hear him out. There is no need to shoot the messenger. Yoon Gi-won stood up quick in response. Kim Jae-jin looked at Woosung in awe. Wow. General Manager Yoon actually listened to that guy. Fine. Let's go. Kim Jae-jin sighed and guided them to Daeyoung System's conference room. Do you like this video? Let me know by giving it a thumbs up and leaving a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated on my future uploads.